Whoa, we're back to some more Bleach Soul Resonance, and I want to talk about a few things, namely the Uryu delays, Bleach Mirror's High possibly releasing very close to Bleach Soul Resonance anniversary, and just other sort of impressions of the game, and why I think that, like, the response from, I guess, some, like, holdouts is a little weird, considering, I mean, there are going to be a few points that I made during the Bleach Mirror's High video I made yesterday. If you want to know more about Bleach Mirror's High and its problems during this closed beta test, you can go to that video yesterday. I'm just very honest. I am looking so forward to Bleach Mirror's High, by the way. No matter what, I am looking forward to Bleach Mirror's High. I am super excited for that game, but there are some obvious criticisms that you can make about Bleach Mirror's High, and I don't think it's wrong to make those complaints. I think if you want these games to be the best they can, you should talk about them, right? So, first point will be Bleach Mirror's High and a possible November launch. We are closing in on what is going to be a very odd time for Bleach Soul Resonance, because we might be seeing one of the biggest first-hand signs of, I don't know how many of you guys have ever been into pro wrestling, but currently there are two big companies. There's WWE and there's AEW. WWE is one you probably know of if you're just like in the West at all. It has all of the money. It's owned by like TKO, which is like bougie, which is like buddy with like the Saudi government and the president of the United States. Like, it is big, scary corporation, the brand, right? And it counter programs against AEW, which is more of an indie darling, the one that doesn't have the support of all of the biggest brands in the world, so on and so forth, right? And people get a little confused when you talk about business practices when it comes to games. 2XKO literally just died. Do you know why? Because some of the lead developers didn't want to play nice with the business practice side of the industry. Obviously, Riot is at fault as well. Riot is not a very kind company. Riot killed Runeterra. RIP Runeterra, by the way. I love Runeterra. Because it wasn't making me enough money. And I get why people are like, well, I should only care about, the game in the abstract. But it's like, it behooves you to learn about these sort of trends because of what it means for your experience as like a consumer as well as the world at large. Right now, Bleach Mirror's High does not have a confirmed release date. However, Q4 is the spot to release new mobile games. You might be asking yourself, what is Q4? Q4 is November, December. Are you getting the picture here? November, December. We are in that time frame. Do you know when Bleach Soul Resonance released? November the 21st. Do you know when Bleach Mirror's High could end up releasing? A week before that? A week after that? A week after that? It's pretty likely. It's pretty likely given all we know about the industry surrounding, these games. You snap up that holiday bundle, you snap up those holiday prices, and you let people look forward to spending for those Christmas cycles, Christmas or whatever it ends up being, right? Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because I don't think it's good to, even with how questionable like the whole Bambietta patch has moved around. If you watch the previous video, I don't make like enough money off of this to, come on here and lie to you. I don't make enough money off of YouTube to come on here and be like, guys, don't be mean to Bleach Soul Resonance. Like, it really doesn't matter, like, what happens to Bleach Soul Resonance. I do videos for fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's just look at my analytics. That's obvious. Like, it's not like I'm not Mr. Beast. I'm not Kai Cenat or, XQC or whatever. I'm a small channel. And so when I'm telling you, like, this is a bad mindset to have the mindset, this tribalistic mindset of, well, Bleach Mirror's High is coming out, so we don't have to like Bleach Soul Resonance anymore, but also you can't make fun of BBS. That's dumb. That's like a dumb mindset to have. Like it should behoove you, with all of the special treatment that Bleach Soul Resonance has not gotten, that BBS gets, that Bleach Mirror's High gets. It would behoove you to support, not financially, you don't have to buy anything, but it would behoove you to probably think about how much you shit on a game that literally is the underdog. Bleach Soul Resonance, let me repeat that, is the underdog. No matter how much money it makes, Bleach, BBS, I don't want to be this guy because it doesn't make that much money, but it is not the underdog in these conversations. It got to put a Kubo design in the game the same night it came out. Do you get that? Are you getting that? Are you getting that? Are you getting that? That's not the underdog. That's like saying Dokkan Battle is the underdog because it didn't release on PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like, it's like just because of like, it looks worse than like Sparking Zero. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, it's BBS might not have updated its engine in 11 years or however long it's been out, but it does get preferential treatment. Bleach Soul Resonance does not get preferential treatment. They don't get anything, really. Like, so I think that ultimately the Bleach Mirror's High stuff, I'm really looking forward to the game, but the conversation around it and the conversation around Bleach Soul Resonance is a nightmare. And it's a nightmare because ultimately I think people just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. If I'm honest, like, everyone on the internet is so self-satisfied. They're so, confident and egotistical. They just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They think that in some way that shitting on one of the only Bleach games that has been consistently, up until the Bambi badge, it's been consistently pretty faithful to the series, even while being behind the 8 ball, is like, oh yeah, we're gonna fix Rebirth of Souls by shitting on Bleach Soul Resonance. It's like, what are you talking about? Bleach Mirror's High will be a better game if we just hate on Bleach Soul Resonance. Like, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. Let's move on to the other point. So we can come in game for this one and just sort of talk about the patch as it is. We're not gonna go over everything. I mean, like, everything, as if anything's happening. Basically, we just have a Jade patch, and then we're going to get into the actual Uryu stuff. As of recording this video, it is the 28th. That means that in 4 or 5 days, so... wow, look at that. Only 20 minutes left on my Uryu. My Uryu will be gone by the time this video goes up. In about 4 or 5 days, we should be seeing Uryu. I believe that day will fall on a Wednesday, though they could extend the delay up to 2 more days and drop it on the Friday. We have seen that before, that they like to drop it on Friday, so who knows? Maybe a Thursday. But Uryu. I have been sort of going back and trying old characters, and the reason I'm doing this, so Bleach Soul Resonance is a game that obviously has power creep in it, right? It's a mobile game and has power creep. Sometimes I have talks with people where they don't really understand what power creep serves to do in games. They just think that number go up. Number go up does not matter because this is not a competitive game. Number go up does not matter because, first and foremost, even prior to that point, they're not putting in content that is unclearable with the weakest characters. The reason I've been going into Type Trial 25 and Type Trial 25 over here and stuff and just like messing around, goofing off essentially, is because I want to sort of demonstrate that, I'm as someone who's like, I'm literally in the top 100 of the tower trials, right? My count has B0 characters on it. I have some B1 characters, some B2 characters here and there, but like, the reason I'm doing this is because if you're a new player, if you're a returning player, if you're someone who plays very casually, you don't play that much, What is the power creep that's happening, right? Like, there's nothing really to mark the characters against that making characters good will be like a threat to your experience, right? So it does become an interesting thing where I feel like when I talk to people, I feel like they don't understand what the game needs versus like what they think it needs because of other mobile games, because of what other mobile games have taught them. They taught them that like, well, all power creep is negative to the player. Not really in Bleach Soul Resonance, because one, you get the access to pull at least one of every character. You know, I mean, Boundary 0, this guy does 1 billion damage. Boundary 1 makes his rotation smoother. Boundary 0, this guy does 1 billion damage. Boundary 1 makes this guy's rotation smoother. It also makes him do a lot more damage. Boundary 0, this guy does 1 billion damage. So on and so forth, right? I don't really... When I see people sort of talk in the abstract, it's like, well, they can't do this or that with the character. They shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. You know, blah, blah, blah needs this. They need that. And it's like, well, in the immediate, I guess no team really needs anything because the content's not there. Like, we need the content to move forward, which I've always said, I don't want them to race content forward. I want them to put out more of their permanent content and rerun the content that we like, not just like make whole new content that they need to rush out. My expectation is that during the first anniversary, we will get our first big content jump. It's always been that. It's never not been that. Anyone who just wants new content, I don't, you know, sure, but not for me. So what's ended up happening is that it's the playability of characters. When Bambietta comes out, and she is not a character because she can't be used on any team that is decent or even really usable, it makes the patch worse because there's nothing to do with her. There's nothing to try. Right now, I think the most fun Bambietta team is just using Ichigo Kurosaki Inner Hollow because he's fun. He's just a fun character to use. It's not really about her. I am really excited to see what this team looks like in totality when this character does come to the game. I think that Bambietta is a cool looking character. I think she has some of the best looking animations in the game, by the way. I've seen a lot of people say that, oh, it's essentially just Toshido's animations. To those people, I would say, I don't want to phrase this too mean. You should watch things be animated. I'll leave it there. You should see things be animated and not look at it in vague, like, oh, she flies around, so that's Toshido. You should watch things. You should think about why you like the animation that you like. I think that's a problem people have. You should think about why you like the animation you like. You should think about why when Demon Slayer does the fireworks, you go, wow, those fireworks are so cool. Versus when, I don't know, some other anime that doesn't really have a plot does like a fireworks show, and you go, I hate those fireworks. You should think about it. You should think about it. I would say that if you think Bambietta and Hitsugaya just look the same, you should really think about it. Yeah, but Uryu is exciting. Hopefully his delay is no more. But why? I just want to end off with like why BSR should be around, even if you are, I don't know, even if you've grown sour on the game, even if you think the devs are just terrible, even if you think that the game just isn't fun anymore, what have you. There was obviously something that drew you to try BSR in the first place. There's obviously a reason that BSR kept your attention for the song. There's obviously a reason that BSR compelled you to go into a Discord. And you could say, well, it's Bleach, I would have done it anyway. It's like, well, I'm sure there are a lot of Bleach related things you're not in every Discord for, you're not in every community for, you're not talking all the time for, you're not disappointed in, you're not doing blah, 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 you're not overly critical in. And I think it's because as we look, you know, I've had a lot of the animation stuff behind me, the trailer essentially. This is a game that in its trailer, I mean, they wanted to do, you know, reflecting projectiles with attacks. They wanted to do flight combat and all these different things. Like, I don't think that these things have suddenly just like left their mind, that they're not interested in them anymore, right? I think we all were excited about Bleach Soul Resonance because it is the realization of something that Bleach hasn't had in a while. And if you think that the best thing for Bleach right now is for less Bleach to exist, especially something as free-to-play friendly as Bleach Soul Resonance, then I think you deserve everything you get when Bleach Mirror's High comes out. I'll see you there, of course, because I'm very excited for Bleach Mirror's High, but when the light dims a little bit from Bleach Mirror's High, when it becomes a little less exciting, when BBS is no longer drawing in huge, I mean, can I even say huge? When it's no longer drawing in exciting returning players and the like because the anniversary's over and they're not dropping, you know, this, that, and the third, I hope you get everything you deserve. Because the thing that you want the least of is for there to be no options. Options make the world go round. Options are beautiful. Options are why your uncle keeps cheating on your auntie, because he got too many options in his phone. He's playing on his phone. You need to get him off his phone. He's got a sickness. But yeah, I don't want less Bleach options. I don't like Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I really don't like those arena fighters that are pumped out by these companies. I really don't like Sparking Zero. I bought that game pre-order. I shouldn't have. It was unfinished mess. But I'm a Dragon Ball fan. So, you know, inherently I'm a little stupid. But I don't want Sparking Zero to not exist, because I would always want people to have more options. You know, is what it is ultimately, right? You can't talk sense into people who don't want to. But I've been Lone. Like if you like the video, subscribe to it, and a club, go make it, and peace.